What's up, guys? It's Tuesday. Welcome to SJU. Had to remember for a second. It's going to be a weird one. You know that because it's me, and I just wrote do a show on the script. That's all that's in front of us. It's me. It's Danielle Radford. It's Ed Greer. Hey, y'all. We're talking about that Black Widow trailer. Y'all want to talk? Y'all see that Black Widow trailer?
I did see that Black Widow. You see that Black Widow, Ed?
Oh, I mastered the task of watching that Black Widow trailer.
Oh, man. You have a hard job.
It is hard. I have to watch trailers.
And talk about them?
Oh, man.
Nightmare.
We're going to talk about that. That's it. Well, look, these two do work hard. That's not the only trailer I asked them to watch and discuss for you. We're also going to do a little Flash and Friends, and we're going to talk about the Crisis trailer, which looked dope. It's like Easter eggs of the past, like,
So ready.
50 years of
Everything?
DC TV.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be super fun. And we got a couple little fan questions. Why do I call them little? I can't belittle these fan questions. We got fan questions. We got big ass fan questions.
Big old fan questions.
We got big old fan questions. Feeling saucy. Let's talk about Black Widow, guys. I'm gonna eat crow. Because I have spent like the last year being like, oh, Black Widow movie, cool. How are you going to get me interested in that? And the answer was that trailer is how you get me interested in that. Let me get some big old thoughts from y'all.
Well, so I'm like, I was tweeting about it this morning. I'm always a huge fan of those like found family narratives.
Yep.
I am a sucker for those.
Yeah.
And so this feels
You're a
like
Friendsgiving lady.
Yeah, I'm a Friendsgiving lady. And so like this feels like that's what this is like her, going back from her newfound family to her old found family. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's exciting. And David, just take my whole heart.
Son of a...
Just take my whole heart.
Can he rescue Baby Yoda?
I don't see.
Can he? No, like keeping it on the rails. Ed, tell me about the trailer.
Keeping it on the rails. Look, I heard, there's two pieces of slander that are already out there that I want to countermand presently.
Slander.
Address them, sir.
Click, 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 click. Okay, look. David Harbour is not fat. He is my goal weight. I love David Harbour. Look at this man. That's a freaking man.
I'd climb that tree.
Of course you would. Of course you would.
Sexuality is a spectrum, and I'm interested in at least a few branches.
Dude, that beard.
I'll hang a tire from one of them branches and swing on it.
Joe Starr's lost in his beard. So, that's number one. Number two, people are saying that the Taskmaster outfit isn't cool because it doesn't look like a goofy 70s buckaroo costume like in the comic books. And I'm here to say, I love Fruity Pebbles, and I'm here to say that's just stupid. We don't even know what he's supposed to look like yet. That might be his first uniform. That might be one of three or four uniforms he wears.
Give us Taskmaster in all his glory right away. It's like when the Top Gun trailer came out, and everyone's like, "You're not going to use Danger Zone. You don't just get to have Danger Zone.
Yeah, that's
you got to earn Danger Zone. You got to buy your ticket for Danger Zone.
Right.
Now you got to buy your ticket for Taskmaster."
They waited to say Avengers Assemble for 12 years.
Yes. Yeah.
So I think, and even if he doesn't have some grand reveal of some super better costume, that's a cool soldier's interpretation of Taskmaster's costume. Sure. And I'm sure the stuff he's going to be doing is going to put him over. He doesn't have to look great. He has to kick some ass. Yeah. And I think he's going to.
I love this. I love the concept. It feels like, what if the Guardians of the Galaxy hadn't seen each other in 20 years?
Right.
Is the vibe I got. David Harbour is just a likable dude. I keep hovering around that Frankenstein thing he has on Netflix. It's like a weird half hour. I don't understand what it is. David Harbour was like, I'll do all the Stranger Things in the world if you give me money to do this. And
Is
I don't know what it is.
Film?
It's like a short film or one episode of a show about like a dude doing some interpretation of Frankenstein. I think maybe he's the son of Frankenstein doing a movie about Frankenstein, something like that.
I don't know, but I love David Harbour enough that I will get around to watching it.
Right. And then please explain it to me because it sounds very meta and confusing.
Yes, it looks meta and confusing, but the moment I was interested at first because I mean Florence Pugh's amazing. I like Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow. We can talk about Scarlett Johansson the person later. Let's separate our art, guys, because really, morally, none of these things should go together.
Well, I mean, she's not playing a tree, so that's fine.
I was surprised. I was surprised.
But no, what I liked about I looked at like some of the stunts they were pulling off, and they were stuff that maybe it could get a little Hobbs and Shaw. You know what I mean?
Probably, but Hobbs and Shaw was getting a little Marvel.
Yeah, that's true. I acquiesce to that point. But the whole thing about like just what a human can do.
Yeah,
I'm really down to watch a movie for what humans and subtly meta-humaned up people can do in this universe, and an adventure that calls for their powers and their gifts. That's pretty cool. But I'm always for depower and everything. Yesterday I got in trouble for wanting to depower Superman so that he could be challenged by something.
Did you get in trouble?
You know, I don't read the comments, but I heard.
I stay out of the room for like a day. And you depowered Superman.
Yeah, I know. But anyway,
it's lava, Sally.
yeah, it's lava. But yeah, so I love the way that they interpreted action that humans could do.
Yeah, well, and I think we're gonna get a lot of that because if you check the IMDb, the fight team they have together for this is awesome. There's some really talented stunt women that are credited as actors who I'm assuming will be playing, other widows. Michelle Lee is one of them. She's awesome. She's in all the Pirates movies. She does all the cool lady pirate stunts and stuff like that.
And I got to give it up to this trailer for telling just enough story. I get what's going on, but I don't know how it's all going to fit together at all. Right. I don't know what the timelines are. I don't know what scenes from what era. If there's going to be
that's the part that's really interesting to me is like some of it is obviously going to, the whole thing is happening in the past, but some's going to be in the past, and then some's going to be in the sooner past. And so, very excited about that.
Ooh, what if they did some Scorsese techniques like, back home, back home we used to do it this way. And then like they flash back and then they do a voiceover of like, that was Jimmy 2 times. He was the widow who did this. I think that'd be pretty cool.
You just want her to narrate her life.
Yeah.
One time we made a big sauce.
Yeah. We got put in Russian prison and we were making. Yeah. I just think I think overall the spy program in Russia is cool too. I was finding out the different ways they interpreted the super soldier program.
Yeah.
They didn't just steal Bucky. They had a proto Bucky, baby. They had proto super soldiers before that.
Yeah.
And it just shows like Russian ingenuity and
it
stuff.
Seems like they're not going to lean into the weird. This is a movie about ballerina murderers trope.
Yeah. Thank you, please.
They do the flashback because like we nodded to it in Avengers, but like I can do without.
Well, they're not a Dolomite Kung Fu army.
Well, wait. I want to figure this out.
Okay.
Not right now, but just like in general in life. Where did the ballerina trope start? Was that a Nikita thing? Was that a Femme Nikita thing? Maybe? Because there's
that's probably drawing on something, though. There's probably somebody screaming a French film at us right now going, it was La Ballerina.
Or it was like,
such and such.
La Ballerina.
Well, and also, I mean, that could have been it. But also, I distinctly remember, this is one of those things that you remember as a kid that was pervasive in media that just didn't come up again. Like how I thought there were going to be mimes everywhere when I got older. I have seen one mime. Well, because on shows and stuff, there's always like, and then there's a wacky mime going down the road and you can't get past him. So I was always like, well, great, now I can't cross the street without mimes. And now I've never seen a mime.
You had a lot of mime expectations.
I had a lot.
But there's a bunch of those.
Yeah, those and the
Quicksand?
Quicksand. Like I just expected it was going to be everywhere.
It's going to be around.
But so one thing that was happening in the 80s was, and this was a real thing, there were the Baryshnikovs, like the Russian ballet was huge. And so it would make, Russian ballet plus with all of the, the spy stuff, the Cold War. It makes sense to kind of throw those two things together where it's like, she's a pretty ballerina and
a murderer. Yeah. I did not expect to get a real answer of substance for this question. I'm almost frustrated that you gave me one.
Well, I also give you quicksand and mimes, though.
Yeah, that's fair. You mixed it in.
And John Wick is doing it too with this the ballerina and yada yada.
There's like a couple.
I think it's called La Ballerina.
There's a couple other Black Widow prequels that have already come out that do the same thing, and La Ballerina. They're all doing it. Yeah, overall, I don't know. I'm running out of things to say about this cool trailer. I was sold on that David Harbour shot of just him like proudly flexing. You got everything you needed to know about the character. Oh, look at that glorious bitch.
We can just put this up as many times as you want. We don't have to take it down.
Well, no, and his character, I like the fact that through a trailer and like 2 distinct shots, you get you're fat. Oh, and was that my baby Rachel Weisz?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, that's my baby. Clee's gonna kill me, but that's my baby. That's my whole
I feel like
pass
the script
forever.
has to be pretty good for Weisz.
That dude, that's my baby. Like, I love Rachel Weisz. I think she's a remarkably gifted actress, and she's beautiful.
Yeah.
And
Danielle, who's your hall pass?
Oh, geez. I think it's no. It's Allison Janney.
It's mine.
Woo!
Ooh, solid hall pass.
Yeah, it's Allison Janney is a big longtime crush.
Right on.
Nice.
Mine's Winona Ryder. I'm a simple man.
Yeah.
I like shoplifters. I thought this was great. The skydive fighting looked cool.
Yes.
I never expected we were gonna get like a weird grounded like Atomic Blonde Marvel movie. Like they're gonna mix it in like with the spectacle. I'm curious to see how this fits in. I think if they're setting up Florence Pugh to like join stage 11 or whatever phase we're in right now, I'm good with it. She's awesome.
So quick, just to
if they want to tie Midsummer in as an MCU movie, I'm very cool with that.
It's because I did see there. There was the chatter, there was the twittering. It seems like some people are feeling like this is too late. Like because of what's already happened with Endgame, and because it's a smaller movie, that maybe this would have been something better after like a Winter Soldier.
Maybe, yeah. You gotta assume that like it's not too late,
right? And
we just haven't been like spoon-fed big old sloshes of like consolation gravy,
Yeah.
Like,
but I think that's a saucy metaphor.
You know what I'm saying? Here's Taskmaster's mask. Here's why the movie's important.
But he doesn't have buckaroo boots. He doesn't have buckaroo boots.
Here comes the choo-choo. I just at some point you gotta trust the story they're telling.
Right.
Well, and also, but the consolation gravy, that's a very good metaphor for what this literally is, because it is consolation gravy. It's we killed her before she got to do a bunch of hot stuff in her own movie, but here's a whole movie of her doing hot stuff.
But I feel like it's to also. I mean, yes, but I feel like in order to actually sell that and to maintain the audience trust, they had to find a point to that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be something.
Because it is absolutely like, we probably should have done a Black Widow movie like a while ago.
Well, but something in this movie will set up the fact that, like, not only did Black Widow sacrifice herself, spoilers, in Endgame, but sometime in the past of the Marvel Universe, before she even met up with any of the super homies, or somewhere around there by herself away from the super homies, she had an adventure that impacted upon our world right now.
Yeah,
right.
I think that they're going to do that, and it's going to be sick, and we're all going to be like, oh, we're all going to be crying.
And then go and be crying at the end.
Yep.
And I'm calling my shot. I don't think she's dead.
Well,
all right. Well,
you're out there. That's a hot take.
Let me Yoda meme.
She is
Dude, drink that bone broth.
She's the ultimate spy. What if she threw a freaking life model decoy?
I don't think it's that. I think they're gonna do some shenanigans. Someone's gonna pull her out of the thing. I don't know. Doctor Strange will find her. He'll pick someone's card correctly, and it'll open up a vortex.
Yeah. Old Captain America's like, come with me. I'm Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
And she's like, goes through a portal with an old man.
I think we're gonna get a weird like. What's that? Robin Williams, Cuba Gooding, What Dreams May Come. What Dreams May Come situation. I'm still calling it. That's out May 1st, 2020. Kate Shortland's directing it. I think it looks fun. I think it looks good. Hey. There it is. There's that label. There's that logo. Hey, guys, thank you very much. Honestly, sorry, I'm weird. And sometimes I don't shift into sincere well. Hang on. We really appreciate you letting us do this dumb, weird show. We really, really do. Thank you guys so much for liking, sharing, all that stuff. It's why it grows, and it's why we keep being able to do it, is really because you guys push it, you guys grow it. Thank you. Honestly, at some point today, Danielle, you and me are just going to do an experiment where I just start talking to you about one thing, and then slowly, gradually, I'm going to shift into, hey, do you think Ed recognizes that we're just talking about what he's drawing on the table right now? What do you think he's drawing?
I haven't looked at it yet. I assume it's Batman.
It's probably Batman. Yeah, it's Batman.
It's got a big bat logo.
You guys know what Batman would do. Batman would want us to take advantage of the platform we have to call out to some people who are doing some real good in the world. Not like this malarkey we're doing. Not like this. Joe Biden would hate this show. There's so much malarkey.
He would hate this
so
show.
much malarkey on this show.
What's a Black Widow?
What's a... I don't want to know his answer to that, honestly.
I'm just drawing Batman. My name's Paul.
Is that Corn Pop's wife?
Corn.
At some point, I just got to be able to do a clean one of these call outs so I can send it to the organization and go, look at the nice thing we did. It's not bookmarked by malarkey jokes. Someday, someone's going to write a better version of that, and they're going to have written it because they worked with 826 LA. Look what I did. 826 LA is this really cool nonprofit organization. They work with under-resourced students on creative writing skills, just writing skills in general, like college essay prep, stuff like that. There's one in Los Angeles. They've got them all over. I think you can go to 826. I think it's national or something like that. We have the website in the link below. We think it's a really important organization to push.
Well, and if I may,
you absolutely.
One of the most interesting things about that is on this program, people have remarked upon my vocabulary, right? And I taught myself all these words. It would have been really great to have a program that would help me to express myself. Because when you have people that can help you express yourself and understand how to relate what you're feeling, there's less of that inner boiling, you know what I mean, that happens. And so and also it prepares you for skills for life, because obviously there's people who are dunderheads when you talk to them, but they know how to put their thoughts down, and they know how to revise, and they know how to do the whole ibid jazz and all that stuff. And these things matter in the world. They're training for the world. Yeah. So somebody who does that and helps people who didn't have access to that before, it's really necessary in a way that a lot of things aren't.
Yeah, and especially they help with like tutoring and after school stuff, which after school is obviously great because it's a great outlet for kids to get out there and learn some writing, but it's also like daycare is expensive, and so you can put your kid in an after school program where they're learning something pretty great, because not every kid wants to do sports, not every kid wants to run up and down that soccer field, some of them want to sit there and they want to write things. So
yeah, they're a great organization. You can obviously they're always looking for volunteers, and that's the first thing I would suggest doing. Just volunteering in general, awesome, great experience. You can donate, and then they also, each 826 is supported by like a weird store. Like in LA, there's a time travel store. And everything at the time travel store goes back to support 826, and so there's all sorts of weird gadgets and and stuff like that, and all of them are supported by these sort of weird, funny storefronts. Go click on the link, check them out for more information. Hey, you guys, let's talk about another trailer.
Yes.
Let's do this.
Well, to be fair, we're also talking about a giant event. We're just talking about a trailer that's telling us a little about a giant event.
Maybe some time travel.
I'm all sorts of, man, there's so much fun malarkey in this next one. Wish Roxy was here a little bit because we're going to do a little Flash and Friendin', but the Crisis trailer, I get worried when the show isn't mostly jaded and we don't like things, but I really like. I feel like we're losing our brand a little bit. Where I'm just like, it's great.
At least we're being Warner Brothers shills right now instead of just Disney shills.
There we go.
I'll shill for CW DC shows all day long. I love them. They're goofy. They're perfect.
If you haven't watched the trailer, I think you should. They're doing this big, massive event. Obviously, this is going to be a big sort of shakeup for the CW shows because Stephen Amell's Arrow is going. I can't imagine Flash is going to go for too many more seasons.
How many more times can Barry go back in time and mess everything up?
I think maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And then they're capped. So obviously they're going through their own like Marvel phase. Would you like to know more about Shang-Chi? Catwoman launching and Black Lightning sort of formally being brought into the fold. Even if you don't like the CW stuff, or if you haven't seen it, this still just seems huge and spectacly.
Yes.
Like Burt Ward is in it from the old Batman show. Bruce Timm's in it. What's his dude from Small? I think everyone from Smallville's in it. Like basically,
almost everyone.
If you've ever liked a DC thing for the past 30 years, I think there's going to be like a fun Easter egg in this for you.
But I think that, and that's the kind of the key what you're saying. It's every DC thing, period, from comic books. Like one of the great things about Watchmen on HBO is that it is a sequel to the graphic novel rather than a sequel to the movie.
Yeah.
Right. And so you start to take things from the books, and so obviously everything that's based upon the books takes little things from the books. But like this event is like. It's taking, in a Marvel-esque fashion, the best of the best of the best from everything. Kingdom Come is in here. You know what I'm saying? It's not just the stuff from the original Crisis. It's it's got the Legion of Superheroes, Mon-El and the others. It's got
The rest of the Legion.
it's got these things that are really DC tropes, and I love it. And Kevin Conroy, old Batman.
Yes.
Oh, I said Bruce Timm. What's wrong with me? Kevin Conroy. Yeah. Just let me correct.
No, I get it. I see how your brain did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Animated. I see it.
As Kingdom Come Bruce Wayne. This, and it feels broad enough that I can just sit down and have fun with it, because I haven't watched any of these shows in a long time.
That's what's great about these crossovers, is that even if you're like plugged out of it, like they give you enough so you get it. It's like, oh, okay, there's a wedding and now there's Nazis. Boom, done. Fun things happening. That guy usually dresses like that, but now everyone thinks they're the other person. Body switch, got it, done.
Yeah.
So you can get it. If nothing else, if you like the DC stuff, but maybe the CW, you just don't want to get into it because there's so many seasons and so many shows, just go through and check out all the crossovers, man. They're so good.
Yeah, they're always really fun.
Really fun. And I will also caveat, I mean, it's a real Buffy vibe on those CW shows. Yes. It's heavy hardcore Buffy vibes.
Yeah.
So just prepare yourself for the quips.
But honestly, you know what? I think we're coming around, because you know what else has like kind of late 90s, early 2000s weird half-hour show of the week vibes? Mandalorian.
That's true.
It really did. I mean that in the best way. It's not a diss at all. It feels
that was like outdoor adventure shows.
Yeah. It feels like it came on between like Xena and Buffy.
Yeah. We was just trying to make these blue shrimps, and then they came and kicked over our playhouse.
Yeah. Help us.
Yeah. As you wander through, help us. Yep.
Yeah. Kevin Sorbo shows up.
But also it being funny the whole time. Like deadly raiders are coming.
And it's still fun.
It's still fun. Let's have some romance. Let's have some fun.
So maybe we're kind of getting back to not all TV has to be like intense TV that broke bad in a new black.
Yeah, I don't necessarily.
In a Thrones game, to be considered prestige.
I love prestige TV. I think it's great, but it's also, I like steak, and occasionally I like a burger.
Yeah.
I feel weird about the line in the sand sometimes. It's like, well.
Well, yeah, I just like how they stuck to DC stuff. Like people think that I don't know. I don't, because I don't appreciate the movies that much. People think I don't like DC, but they got the Harbinger in here, the Anti-Monitor, antimatter waves eating everything. Yeah, they got real DC cosmic comic stuff in here,
and that's my favorite comic moment is the wave of death that's coming through, and it's going to wipe anything out.
And certain universes.
Wait to see when they do the piata. Like the very classic, like, oh, I'm dead, carrying me Superman.
Yeah, and people getting wiped out. We could be, we're probably going to be treated to us seeing little glimpses of universes, like Mon-El is Superman and Green Lantern is Batman, and all the different weird universes all mixed up, and then it just gets wiped out. It's like, whoa, but I wanted to. No.
to know about those. I want to know about the one where all the kittens are superheroes and they talk.
Right.
cut.
Air buddies, shoom, they're gone.
Hard cut to, I think, 5th grade Joe in the back seat of the car. We were on our way to the airport to pick up my grandparents, and I was reading the last issue of Legion Quest as the Emkron crystal wave comes through, and I. At the time, like, I was not plugged in. I was not like a smart fan. It was easier to not be a smart fan when the only internet you had was an AOL CD and you weren't really allowed to use it. But yeah, I didn't know what was coming next, and so I'm just like watching everybody get murked by this crystal wave, and I'm just in the backseat going like,
Gambit and Rogue having one last kiss. Yes, act like I don't remember that splash page.
My dad's just like, okay.
But he called her Sharon, then they kiss, and Rogue is not allowed to touch.
Clearly, sports has not been helping. I think this is super fun.
Gotta toss the football at this kid a little more.
A little more, because the karate ain't doing it. First episode of this is December 8th, and then I think they're doing a few, and then they pick back up in January on the holiday. Looks super fun.
Well, and one last thing, we don't know how it's going to turn out. As much as I like DC, as much as people like DC and they know the history, we don't know how it's going to turn out because in the comic books, Supergirl and the Flash die, and it's fairly obvious that even if they may die in this in some manner, they'll be certainly brought back because they have shows that are going strong, stuff like that.
This is a good period for if anyone is like, if there's contracts ending. A lot of people have been doing these shows for a long time, and so if anyone was looking to move on, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw like a side character death. Because especially like, and if I had to guess, I would say it's probably Legends, because Legends is like not afraid to shake up their cast. And they're not afraid to kill people off, again, knowing that they hop dimensions, so they can always see some version of that character again. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Legend die at the end of this.
And I think the fun thing, like, I know a lot of people just aren't into it because they're like, Green Arrow's like the main character, and it's like, yeah, because that was the first show. They didn't know that they were going to be building this massive thing. But what I like about that is that this universe is so different in terms of lineup and who's important, who's not, who the focus is on, that you don't know what their crisis is going to look like. Like in a normal like comic standard thing, you're like, okay, well, Batman's going to do some cool stuff, Superman's going to do some cool, like you sort of know like who's going to have a role.
I mean, they're going to divvy up Batman stuff amongst Batwoman, Green Arrow, and his gang.
And like White Canary and
I was literally like, I was watching the trailer with
she dead. I don't know. I'm very not caught up. Very excited.
She good. She ain't dead yet. But she's the leader of the Legends. But we were watching the trailer, and there's that moment when Green Arrow has to be like we have to do this. We have to save the stuff. And they cut, and he's talking to Superman, and I'm like, okay. Again, that's one of the quirks of the universe, because it's like Green Arrow came first. This is his thing. But it's also one of those things where it's like, why is Green Arrow trying to convince Superman to go do something heroic? But also, again, it's like
their version of like that moment where Bruce Wayne's like, Clark, remember who you are. Like, you're the best of us. And Clark's like, yeah, I guess. Like, it's their version of that.
But I love the Super. I'm sorry, I could literally talk. There was a show once. I could literally talk about CW, DC stuff all day. The new Superman, I'm really.
I have no idea how long we've been going, so we can't.
Oh, that's fair.
I think we've been on air for 2 hours.
Has it been 2 hours?
Very close. Ryan's like, yeah, please stop. We've got someone's calling me. I got a robocall. We should put them on right now. Galaxy Quest, our documentary, Never Surrender, came out last week.
Yeah.
I hate it when I say so sometimes I just like throwing a few extra in just to really like make it sting just a little bit. Like I want it to feel like something's getting under your fingernail. We made a documentary. It came out last week. It was awesome seeing it in a theater with people that had never seen it before. Super stoked that it's finally out. We've still got some call-outs because, you guys are buying tickets and using the hashtag Never Surrender. We're still calling some of you guys out. A few of you had questions. Kelstar at Kelstar22. I'm going, and I'm jazzed to be on the show, man. I'm excited that I get to support you guys, and I wanted to thank you for being so kind and fun. And my mom loves watching your Masked Singer recap, so give her a shout-out.
Oh!
Okay, we got to make these shout-outs good. We don't know a lot about Kelstar or her mom, but Danielle, let's start on Danielle's close first. Danielle, right to camera. Give Mom a shout-out.
Oh, Mom, you are the cornerstone of your family. You are the one who brings the hearth home. You love your children like Baby Yoda loves side-eye. And we are so happy and proud and blessed to be able to give you your weekly dose of Masked Singer recaps and conspiracy theories.
Well shouted, well shouted. Ed, right to camera.
I don't watch Masked Singer anymore because last season could not be topped. T-Pain is the best. But besides that, I'm glad you're still into it. I'm glad you like the recaps, and I'm glad you like something that much. And I'm glad that your daughter knows enough about you to have us shout you out in this fashion and knows that you're a fan like this. I don't know what my mom likes, and I feel worse for it.
Hey, Kelstar's mom. I think it's ironic that you loved Masked Singer so much, because you know who doesn't need to wear a mask? A mom as good as you. Because no mask can cover maternal instincts that strong and that powerful. Thanks for watching our recaps. And thanks for being a fan, Kelstar. Thank you so much for getting a ticket. Thanks for watching. I hope that was not horrible.
Oh, it was intense.
Retina49, we gave you much more than you bargained for. Retina49 said, hey, I'm so thankful I get to see Never Surrender. I really hope we get a discussion of your favorite films of the decade. Love you guys. Keep up the great work. Heart emoji. You are going to very much get a whole bunch of decade stuff. We've been pre-taping like mad for the holidays.
Like mad.
And yeah, you guys are going to... You guys, any angle you've wanted a decade of something, I think we're making it. So yeah, we're gonna be breaking down best and worst movies of the decade, most underrated shows of the decade. We have a ton of really cool stuff coming. So we think you guys are gonna enjoy it. Retina, thank you so much for getting a ticket, and I really hope you dug the doc. We're gonna close out on this fan question because I like this one a lot. This is from Baconham29.
Yeah.
What's the best and worst cinematic reveals that you can remember? Baconham, thank you for putting the caveat of that you can remember in for me, who can usually remember very little. For example, best, like Captain America coming out of the shadows in Infinity War, and worst, like Stallone being revealed as Judge Dredd. First of all, I'll agree with you on Judge Dredd. Billy Business actually shouts about this all the time because he hates that movie. Frustrates. I don't know if he hates it, but that movie like frustrates him a lot. And he's talked about that before, where it's like, it's not so much there's nothing wrong technically with the reveal, but we've already seen like 5 to 10 judges already, and he's wearing the exact same costume.
Right.
So you've like already seen the judge world, and then they do this dramatic reveal of a thing you've already said, and it's like, yeah, that one's rough. Hey, what's a bad reveal?
So just sticking with the inspiration that is Billy Business, this is one of his favorite movies, but I do not like this reveal. In Wild Wild West, when they do the reveal of the big spider, and there have been like little spiders and spiders all over the place, and I think it's supposed to look more like scary and awe-inspiring than it does, but it doesn't look good. It doesn't give you the thing it's supposed to give you because it's goofy. Why is this dude driving this giant spider?
Yeah, it's bad. It's supposed
to. Yeah, it's supposed to be this like. Oh no, here comes. It's supposed to be the Death Star, and it's definitely not the Death Star.
I gotta go. I think about this one a lot. Probably more because I watch this movie a lot. Inglourious Basterds is probably like my second favorite Tarantino after Kill Bill. But there's one moment that always bothers me, and it's in. I think it's chapter 3 when we're like meeting the bastards.
Yeah.
And they do the reveal, or they do the origin story of how they recruited the German dude who betrays Germany by killing Gestapo and then joins up with the bastards. And I can't remember the actor's name, but he's just one of those dudes that you're like, oh, as a child, you were just like put in the Arctic and expected to survive, and you did, and now you're this guy.
Yeah.
And like, just looks like stabbing weapons would not have any effect on him, and just a tough looking dude. And they do the whole story of him. And then Brad Pitt drags the German officer over to question him and starts threatening him with the threat of the Bear Jew. And they do this huge build-up, and you hear the baseball bat off in the distance, and he's like, do you understand? Like, do you remember who exactly? Have you heard of the Bear Jew? And he's like, I have. And like, it's a great performance from the guy. Like, his voice is and he's like trying to maintain dignity as he acknowledges that like he's gonna get his brain bashed in, and it's this huge tension building thing, and then just remembering that the first guy you saw was that guy.
Yeah.
And then Eli Roth walks out of that tunnel with a bat, that's thicker than his arms. And look, I'm not gonna. I know. Look. That's not even one bat. I know. But like, it's Eli Roth. He's not a threatening dude, and just like, I don't know. There's so much that goes into that reveal because he like steps out, and you're like, oh, that's Quentin Tarantino's friend.
Well, and I think
Eli Roth.
I feel like that really depends on you knowing that like Eli Roth makes some of the most sadistic looking movies.
Yes.
For you to be like, I think if you don't understand the hostileness of it all, I don't think you get it.
It just does
It's
not
just like,
work.
who is this dude? But if
And,
you know
like,
who he is, it's like, oh yeah, he's grizzly.
And
he's
yes, I know there's an idea that like in the idea in like in a situation like World War II, like enlisted men who are average Joes just like you and me can like have these bigger than life reputations and do these bigger than life things. But I also don't think that Quentin Tarantino was really trying to hit that theme very hard, you know?
That was not the theme of the movie.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so that's one for me where it's like, you just hear that clank and then Eli Roth's just like, hi! That's never worked for me. Ed?
Are we doing worst?
Yeah, we're doing worst, and then we'll say some nice ones if we can think of any.
Okay. Worst. Okay, this one's really simple, and it's not even spoilery. There are some parts in Joker, and I'm not gonna go in on Joker. Joker's very beautifully filmed. It's a good movie. Stop, leave me alone. Okay, but
You do this to yourself.
but I know. I like poke you in the eye, and I'm like, "What are you doing? Stop! Hey, come on, truce. I'm on base." So here's the thing: the reveal that Arthur Fleck is crazy in the Joker.
Yeah.
Most
I'll give this to
underwhelming
you.
thing I've ever seen in my days. All of my days. You mean he's not a reliable narrator? You mean he's even more isolated than it appeared?
That is very
You
fair.
mean he's
Yeah,
making this all up? What do you mean? Come on.
He's the Joker.
He's the Joker. You know what I mean?
He
The
wears
fact-
the
I'll give you
clown
that.
makeup.
and they had the point of going back to the scenes and seeing that there was, blah, blah, blah. See, I'm not even spoiling it, but you saw it, and you know what I'm saying. Like, they go back to the scenes, oh, they're not there. Of course they weren't. Like, this dude's Mac on a black lady that works at a bank, that was gonna work? Hey, I'm weird. I ride the bus, black bank lady. Go out with me. That was never gonna work. What are you talking about?
People who ride buses get laid.
They don't. Look.
Yeah.
If Fleck rolled up on
Wait.
you, I'm saying she rode the bus to work. He rode the bus to clown college and got fired. Okay? The concept that she would go out with this dude anywhere for any reason, platonically, canonically, bubonically, no kind of damn way.
You don't see Zazie
All right.
Beetz.
All right, Greer, pull up. I'm pulling the cord for your own good. They're gonna come for you.
I'm just saying.
They're gonna come for you, buddy.
That's so ridiculous. He's crazy.
Bubonically.
You think? I'm sorry. I'm just.
Hot take, Sally.
I'm not even trying.
Hot takes. I'm gonna do a whole Hey Dude theme song about
I'm just saying that was so ridiculous. The Joker being crazy. Reveal. It's a horrible reveal.
I appreciate it. No, yeah. There's an argument there. Yeah. Danielle, say something nice about a reveal in a movie or TV show.
Oh, well, this is because I was inspired by my friend 2 Meets 29. I think it's got to be the moment in Endgame when we see that the hammer was going to Captain America, right? Like, everyone lost it. Like, that was a huge... Like,
Oh, yeah.
Everyone in the theater's, like, cheering because you're just like, we knew it. He was worthy. Boo, 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 boo. Like, all the fan theories and Reddit exploded. And so I think that's got to go down. And even if, like... just the way it felt being in the audience and seeing that, especially like I was lucky enough to get to see it because we were covering it, and so to see it with a bunch of like film critics and like some nerds, but people who are usually like keep it together were too cool for this. No one was cool when that moment happened.
Yeah.
That was pretty great.
Yeah. I was sitting next to you.
Yeah.
I think we cried.
We cried at a lot of that movie.
I think we our inner Coy Jandro unleashed.
Yeah, it did.
In that moment, we were not jaded or cruel or terrible. We were just pure like Coy.
Yeah, even stuff that I look back later and I'm like, I don't know if that worked for me at the time.
We were like,
it's all about women are on screen.
We ride the bus. Yeah, we love this.
Oh, you guys. Well, keeping it in the Marvel family, I have one, and it's hot take.
Oh, boy. Hot takes.
Dude, I get why people were disappointed that the Mandarin didn't have 10 extraterrestrial magical rings to fight our science hero with. I get why people were mad about that. I do. But the point...
Why did you sound like the Continental? Like you're lounging on a mink. Like, I understand why you might have been disappointed. But let me hush your lips and explain to you why it's going to be all better, sugar.
What do we have here?
Oh, my.
No, but for real, I just think the point that movie was making about the way that they played the Mandarin like that, the way they disappointed you guys like that, is because it was making a point about how fear is always bigger and more mysterious than what the actual cause is. The actual cause is a businessman doing businessman things. I'm a businessman. I'm doing businessman. I'm trying to hide my businesses. I'm growing my business. And to grow my business, I got to have this smoke screen, you see? I got to have this Mandarin. Is that how you say it? Yep. Mandarin. He's going to have this persona, and he's going to scare everybody with his mysterious exoticism. And they're going to get all in a bunch about that while my regular white bread self goes and does my corporation stuff.
Yeah.
I'm going to obfuscate this stuff with this peril. And that's beautiful.
The whole movie, I was like, am I mad? Like, I couldn't figure, and that's kind of why I appreciate it too, because it was one of the first. That's the first big Marvel, like, not just being like, here comes the choo-choo!
Dude, yes! It's not, the first bit of, that's exactly why I'm saying this hot take, because the first bit of non-consolation gravy Marvel fans had, they spazzed out over it, and that's so ridiculous. It was so cool to me.
The only reason I don't love it is because then the third act is sort of just boring, and
agreed.
And that makes me, it's like he needed to be cooler than the Mandarin in the reveal, and he wasn't. He stayed white bread, like, doing my business, and it was like, well, that's not interesting anymore.
Yeah.
But I remember just the whole time being like, I think I'm angry. I think I am. And then, like, by the end of the night was like, I think I liked it. Like, I didn't, and we haven't gotten a whole lot of those since. But yeah, yeah, that's a good one.
But I mean, that's why I liked it, because it seemed like one of the first brave, quote unquote, you're not going into the Sudan to fight diseases, okay? But like the first brave, quote unquote, thing that they did was that. And I applaud them for it.
Oh, God. Let me figure out a good one. I'm going to stay on brand and talk about an anime thing. It's the only one. It's what I'm thinking of.
Do it.
The movie Your Name, which is just it's an exercise in how long can we keep the two people in the rom-com apart? How long can we do it before you get frustrated, because you can go too far with the will they won't they, like you can go too far with it and you're like, I don't care anymore, but they do such a great job just pulling back the rubber band and then giving you a little bit, and then there's two, I don't want to spoil the movie, but there's a great reveal sort of mid-movie where you find out sort of what's actually going on with the story. They sort of reveal that there's like time shenanigans going on, and they're actually like, hang on, I'll reveal it. Spoilers. I don't know.
We'll do the thing.
I don't know if the dance is on there, but spoilers. Basically, you have these two people, and they've been jumping into each other's bodies at night.
Hot.
Yeah, right. You like 4, but like he goes to like see her and discovers like the town she lives in was like wiped out in a disaster, and you find out that she is like exists like a few years earlier, and so then it becomes this whole thing of like, hey, can he change that? You know,
Right.
so there's that really great reveal like mid movie where he's like so excited to get to the town, and like everyone in the town's a little like, you want to go where? Like, okay. And he's like, I'm meeting someone there, and everyone's like,
No, you're not.
Yeah.
that's weird, you know, like, and then the reveal when he like sees the town and it's like a crater, you know, is really cool. And then the end, you know, obviously happy ending, like they get together, but the movie's doing such a good job, like keeping them apart. And then the end is literally like them passing each other on a bridge, and you're to the point where you're like, ah! You know, just like, and they just pause and just like glance around at each other, and then done. And it's a great reveal, and it gets out right away. Doesn't get sappy or anything. It gives you just enough.
Does it
to go.
cut to them arguing in the carriage ride home? Like, what? You don't like Naruto? What are you talking about, lady?
It gives you just enough, and it's a great reveal.
Right.
And those are. Hey, we said
Spoilers
bad
over,
things.
spoilers over.
You should watch that movie. We said some bad things. We said some nice things.
did it.
It's been an SJU. Ed, how you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty great. Pretty great.
Hey, where can people find your stuff?
On Hot Take Sally Productions, we have several. Actually, me and Billy Business of Actual Hot Takes with Billy Biz did a show called Reboot It, and we did a Reboot It Wolverine. We rebooted Wolverine in about an hour, and it's on the Nerd Goat feed as well as the Hot Takes with Billy Biz feed. So I'd really like for people to check that out so we can see if people are really interested in me and Billy Biz and the boys making a nice Voltron for you. So yeah, Nerd Goat podcast is my podcast. It's pretty cool. I like it. We talk to people about their favorite fictional characters. So we got a lot of those episodes coming out. One that just happened was Brian Edward Hill of Batman and the Outsiders doing Batman.
Hey, he was drawing Batman.
Batman.
I wouldn't lie to you guys.
Anyway, so I'll put it up on my Twitter at Greer Destroys, so you can see the Batman drawing I did today. I'll finish it up a little bit in the next 40 minutes or so. I'll put it on Twitter at Greer Destroys.
We'll put a link to the Reboot It in the description.
Sick.
Awesome.
Perfect. Thanks, Ryan. Hey, Danielle, how you feeling?
I'm good.
Right on. I'm Joe. I'm good as well. You can see Danielle Radford all over this channel because we won't let her go. And follow her on Twitter and love her. And I don't know. I'm here. I live in this room, actually. I have a tent in the corner. And I'm about to go crawl into it. Bye, guys. See you tomorrow.